going on, everybody? Wally here with a community commentary. This one is on Gotti, plays for a team called No ID, which is a new up and coming team that had their beginnings in Battlefield 3 and is going to be a transfer team to Battlefield 4. It's going to be interesting to see how they play and what they do. Gotti, I've known Gotti for quite some time. He's been a competitive player, I would say, probably since around somewhere in the middle of the beginning. Obviously, I don't remember the exact date the first time I played against him or played with him, but I have played against him a few times, and he's definitely one of those players that's pretty good. So in this game, he is playing on Rogue Transmission Domination, running the ACR. And his setup on the ACR is the Coyote Sight, a green laser, no barrel, and the Potato Grip. And I would have to agree pretty much with this setup. On my ACR, I run almost the identical thing. I would say that I run a stubby potato, pretty much the exact same thing. I run a red laser sight, and I run a red dot. And then as far as the barrel goes, I don't run any kind of barrel except for like a flash hider because it doesn't produce any kind of negatives. And the ACR, in my opinion, is one of those guns that is more situational. While you can get away with a lot of I would say, mid to close range engagements, you're really going to suffer at long range. And obviously, the gun is not meant for long range engagements. It is meant for up close. Like, you will melt people up close. It's still fantastic. I had a pretty good game on the Xbox One with the ACR, so I definitely enjoy this gun very much. As you can see here, Gotti's doing pretty good. I think he goes like 30 and something in this game. I didn't keep the scoreboard at the end. And basically, this entire footage I just edited out, kind of the slow points, the deaths and the nonsense that occurs. But I try to keep it as action-packed for you guys as possible. It was enjoyable for me to watch, and Gotti is definitely a good player. So I asked him a few things, and I just wanted to get like a brief understanding of a few things about him. And he basically said that his favorite map in game mode is Obliteration, and his favorite map is Dawnbreaker. And while I can agree with that 100%, Obliteration is definitely one of my favorite game modes. I do like Dawnbreaker as well. Now, Gotti is still playing on the 360 version, but Obliteration is still pretty damn fun on the 360, even though it's 24-man as opposed to 32-man. But it is still one of those game modes that's always intense because the action is driven towards a certain bomb point or certain players. Now, I don't remember exactly how I felt about the 360 version of Obliteration. I know I played it, but I took like a whole week off when I was playing it. But I know that Gotti, whenever he moves up to the Xbox One, which I'm almost positive that's what he's going to end up doing, is going to be really stoked. He's going to be excited because basically it's everything is almost identical except the graphics are obviously a huge step forward, and the just sheer amount of players, the fact that you have great frames pretty much the entire time is definitely going to be a delight to a lot of players that are transferring over. Now, I talked to him a little bit too, and he gave me some pretty good insight. He said, basically sometimes it's pretty frustrating to play on the ground as infantry, and I understand that. Even in smaller game modes, it's pretty frustrating sometimes because, we all understand that the netcode, while they are working on it, is still kind of iffy. Sometimes you'll die, just trade or whatever. We all know about that one-shot headshot kill bug, which is a huge frustration to a lot of players, especially competitive players. But, Gotti said basically that you got to mix it up sometimes. You really got to go in there, and if you aren't feeling it one day, you got to go in, get in a jet, get in a tank, and just have a good time. And I couldn't agree with him more. I think maybe I should probably do that a little bit more because I definitely get frustrated more than most people, especially with the ground play in this game. Now, my ground gameplay isn't that stellar, but I would say that I can make up for it in the tank sometimes, and I definitely have my share of good fun in the tanks and in the jets. But I definitely get what he's saying. He's saying basically that you can't take infantry that serious all the time because it is kind of a mixed bag of sometimes you do great, sometimes you do sort of great, and then sometimes you get completely BS'd out there and you don't play as well. A lot of those things affect players, and while it is fun to in a sense, have a good time playing, playing ground all the time can get pretty tedious. So I understand exactly where he's coming from. And if that is a lesson I'm probably going to take away from it, basically, if you aren't feeling it, dude, just go play some Conquest or go play some Rush and go get in a vehicle and just shoot people. That's pretty much what video games are in the first place. But basically, that's pretty much the gist of it. I think I think I'm going to continue doing this. So as long as I get footage, I really enjoy doing the community commentaries. I don't know how I'm going to do them yet. This is kind of like a test footage. I might, in a sense, like do like a shoutcast in a way. Like if it's really action packed, or if I get like a lot of footage and I edit it down to a lot of like really cool moments, I might kind of treat it as like a shoutcasting kind of thing, maybe more as like practice in a sense, like okay, he's moving up on the left flank and he's really got to pay attention to, basically what's going on in front of him. He's going to go for this revive, that kind of stuff, basically. In a sense, I did it in the past for one of the iconic scrims. I believe Beware was streaming a game, and it was a 5v5 versus Epsilon, and I had the opportunity to kind of shoutcast it only under Beware's POV. So it was kind of cool. It was kind of an experience, but I want to know what you guys think. Like, what would you guys want to watch? Do you guys want to watch more of a commentary / interview of the individual, or do you want to watch more of like a shoutcasting, like what I think about his plays, what he's doing, my predictions on how he's going to play, that kind of stuff. As always, I do read all the comments, so if you guys have anything that you want me to do, or you have footage for me that you want me to go over, just send me a message. Gotti went through and sent me the message on Twitch, which is pretty useful because he sent me the message when I was streaming, and it's not like I can't get away from those messages because I get a notification on my phone basically saying, hey, I've got footage for you. Do you want to take a look at it? And then basically I got in contact with them a little bit later within the week, and I said, hey, I'm just going to ask you a few questions, and let's go from there. So this is basically, in a sense, a test commentary. This is 360 gameplay, but the quality of the gameplay is still pretty awesome, I would say. Like, graphics and all that are one thing, but good gameplay is definitely what I want. Now, I'm not saying that I won't go through footage that obviously isn't the greatest gameplay ever. I'm not looking for the greatest players. I just want to give this channel, and in a sense you guys, more of an opportunity to get more exposure, and for me also I get the opportunity to kind of learn and see other people's play styles, because I really do want to get into shoutcasting one day, not right away, but sometime down the road in the future. So in the link below, I will have a link to Gotti's YouTube. I suggest you guys all check him out. I'll have the link there. He doesn't have a Twitter yet, but when he does, I'll update the video. So if you guys are looking for more videos from him, check out his YouTube. Keep an eye out for their team, No ID. I certainly am going to. And hopefully I will get more footage from you guys, because that's what I really want to do. I kind of want this to be one of those channels that does a whole bunch of different stuff about Battlefield, and it's for the players at the same time. So Gotti, thank you for your footage, man. Great gameplay with the ACR. Makes me want to get on some Xbox One right now and play with it. I had a great time running the ACR. If you guys are looking for a gun to run, I would recommend his setup. I would recommend staying away from the barrel attachments entirely if you're worried about recoil compensation. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.